What's going on? Why does it feel like every time I'm starting these, it feels like a little bit of a what's just happened again? United nil, Burnley nil. Manchester United created 37 shots at goal. Almost half were on target. Tom Heaton had the game of his absolute life. And Manchester United dropped 2 points at home. I don't say he gained a point, definitely didn't gain a point. As I said in the preview on Full Time Devils before we kicked off on this one, this is the sort of game that we needed to turn up and absolutely swat someone aside. And we did that, all but putting the goals in the back of the net. And I've seen people say, how can you be happy with a performance like that? Well, I'll tell you why you can be happy with performances like that where you don't get the result. The result is a disappointment. The performance was not a disappointment. You can be happy with the result because there's signs that things are going well. You can be unhappy with getting a result, or you can say, we got a result, but this happened or that happened, or we was lucky today. And I've said that in the past when we sometimes under Van Gaal where we get a result, and I've said it's still not good enough though because we don't look like we're able to replicate this. Playing well is something that's going to be replicable, and that's when you know that you're going to go on and succeed and do something. If you're repeatedly unlucky, and you know what, we had the chances to do this there and we didn't manage to take them, there is mitigation in the fact that you played well, as opposed to not playing well and getting a result. All that it's championship form to not play well and get a result, only if the previous 10 games you've played well and you've got results. If you're repeatedly not playing well and not getting results, then that's not championship form for obvious reasons. I've seen a lot of people having a go at Paul Pogba today, a lot of opposition fans having a go at Paul Pogba, but it was people in and around the stadium as well that was having a go at Paul Pogba for me. If Zlatan could finish, Paul Pogba comes away today with like 6 or 7 assists alone. I thought he was deadly. Some of his crossing from that left-hand side was absolutely lethal, putting it in the perfect areas. Sometimes his touch lets him down in the middle of the pitch, which is bizarre because sometimes his touch leaves you just like open-mouthed at what he can do with the ball. Some of the times when he rolls his foot over it and does a little step over and takes it past people in the tightest of spaces. And you think, I don't get it, because sometimes he does look like a giraffe when he's trying to control it, and other times it looks like, you know, a 6'5" Maradona. It's absolute. He's a complete and utter conundrum at the moment, is he? And I think there was a couple of times where he had a shot from distance that the keeper dealt with, had to deal with as well. And I think the same things he's going through, Zlatan is going through. I'm seeing people saying, drop Zlatan, play Rashford. And I see holes in Rashford's game that I think would mean that he wouldn't be a good opportunity right now as a centre forward. Zlatan's hold-up play is good. Zlatan's link-up play is good. His finishing is not good. It might be getting to the point where you have to drop him soon. I just don't think it's yet. I really don't think it's yet. I did expect him to hit the back of the net today. I mean, that goal, the technique that he needed, where he just waits for that ball to come, the overhead one, or the one that he had to jump in the air, the acrobatic volley that he hit, that's a hell of a shot. And how Heaton kept that out of the net, I don't know. Burnley defended like their lives depended on it. If you rewatch that goal, or that non-goal, that save, you'll see there's 5 Burnley players get back onto the line for it. That's how deep they was defending. They did a number on us today. They really did. They collapsed the midfield onto the defence. They made it tight. Pogba had 3 men on him at all times. Zlatan was restricted in terms of his space. You go into the wings. This is where we do need an out-and-out winger, and Mkhitaryan isn't an out-and-out winger, but he is a man that can find a little bit of space out there. Maybe this is where we are missing him a little bit, but who'd you bring him in for? The team selection today was very good. Mata as a number 10 was absolutely ridiculously good. I mean, sometimes just purring at what he's doing. The link-up play, the fast feet that he's got. And I said in my fan cam on Full Time Devils, I'll throw that in the description below as well so you can check that out. Wayne Rooney's not Juan Mata in the slightest, and the difference that you could see, there was a couple of times Wayne Rooney got into some positions that if Juan Mata was in those positions, it would have gone differently. Talking about his shot at the end, talking about a couple of times when the ball was played out to him around the D, and he's just not got the touch or the quick feet and the vision to be able to spot someone. And I think Mata and Zlatan are actually forming a little bit of a partnership where they look for each other and they're able to find each other with real quality passes. We've not scored enough goals in the last few league games. In fact, we haven't scored any goals in the last 3 league games. Liverpool, Chelsea, and now Burnley have nilled us. And that's absolutely not good enough. But you can't deny that we're creating chances. In the Stoke game and in the game today, we must have had 60 plus shots. How long would it have took to get that under Louis van Gaal? A long bleeding time is what it would have took to get that under Louis van Gaal. So these draws are not the same. It's disappointing. Yeah, you only get a point, and it doesn't fucking matter how many shots you have if you don't find the back of the net. But it will come. It will come. You are still seeing evolutions of how Manchester United play. And I'd love to see us play 4-3-3. But I wasn't expecting Juan Mata to be as good as he has been for us at the moment. Juan Mata has been absolutely irresistible, and you have to find a way for him as a number 10. And if you've got to play him as a number 10, maybe even as a little bit of an advanced state alongside Herrera and Pogba, I think that was the right option at home. Away from home, I think there's probably going to be a bit more of a need for Carrick, and I don't know who makes way then. I don't know how you fit in Carrick, Herrera, Mata, and Pogba. That's a conundrum. And then on top of that, you need to find a way to fit in Rashford because he's one of our only main outlets. And then you probably, at some point, going to have to fit in Marshall. And at some point, you're going to have to fit in Mkhitaryan. So there's a ton of problems and question marks still that we've got all over the squad. We didn't really miss Bay today because I don't think they offered a great deal going forward. Marcus Rojo was able to deal with whatever came his way. Darmian looked good. Luke Shaw with a match-saving tackle quite near the end. Everyone put in a decent performance there. It wasn't a bad performance on the pitch, I don't think, apart from the finishing. I've not seen who's done what with the shots. There was a good stat thrown out by Squawker earlier that Juan Mata completed 100% of his passes, 100% of his dribbles, created like half a dozen chances, did this, that and the other. Ultimately, the ball didn't end up in the back of the net, and Mata himself had a couple of opportunities where he probably should have done better. Do you know what? You can't get here mad. You can't go ranting. You can't get proper upset about it, can you? Because the performance was good, and it will come. It just sucks, and it does feel like the league is running away for us at the moment. The only consolation that we've got is it's still October, and we are starting to look like we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I definitely get that feeling that we are going to be a force to be reckoned with. We are starting to find our best 11. We don't know it yet, and it will be different home and away, and it will be different against different opposition. And I like that we've got tactical fluidity, because I've never been a fan of just saying this is our best 11 and then play it every week. It doesn't work like that. You do have to tailor to your opposition. You do have to account for resting people and I think maybe the amount of football that we've played in the last few weeks with a very, very similar side, we've rested very few players. Maybe that's adding up a little bit for us. Maybe the big fella does need a rest. The press will make a massive deal out of it if he's rested or dropped though, won't he? Substitution was bizarre, I thought. You take Mata and Lingard off, players who like to play it on the floor, like to play it neat, in and around the box, players who was creating chances, and then you bring Zlatan on, you bring Fellaini on and don't play any high balls up to him whatsoever. You bring Rooney on, who was odd. I just didn't get the substitutions. Ander Herrera's red card was a fucking joke and just sums Clattenburg up I've not even touched on any of the penalty shouts or the way that opposition players was pulling shirts. I'm not sure who it was that got the shirt nearly pulled off. It might have been Shaw, could have been Darmian, could have been Rojo, I can't even remember. The referee was shite, but we had the opportunities to not have him even make a difference to this game today. Whatever. Sunday paper review will be out in the morning, so make sure you check that out, and there'll also be a new video up on the gaming channel as well, so I'll throw the link in for that below. Let me know on Reddit what you want in terms of the gaming channel, because it's either going to be Sensible Soccer or it's going to be FIFA 94. See you in a bit.